Hey guys, let's talk trigger foods. So many of the foods that we just like so much can feel like pulling, right? Like we've experienced this sense of urgency to eat them or eat more of them or not say no to them. And we feel like we can't stop once we get started. But I want to tell you a secret. There's nothing wrong with you if this happens, okay? And there's nothing wrong with you if you like a particular food quite a bit. There is also likely a reason why you might have a trigger food in the first place. Consider that if you've dieted a lot in the past, okay, you have likely done so by following an eat this, never eat that sort of a plan before. And the second that you tell yourself, I can't eat that, what is the first thing that you start craving? It's called the ironic process theory. What we tell ourselves not to think about, we think about more, okay? Because now it's at the forefront of our thoughts. It makes sense. Or consider that on a previous diet, you were allowed a cheat day or a cheat meal where you got to have the food that you couldn't. You know, that was off limits for the rest of the week. What's happening here? Well, now you've actually created an association with that food being coveted and significantly more rewarding than it ever was before because it's scarce at that point. You know, when we're super hungry because we're dieting too stringently and too rigidly, and then we eat what's called a hyper palatable, rich, decadent food, we get a super fantastic dopamine hit, okay? So your body and your brain remembers this. Here's another thing. Consider that you grew up eating certain foods, okay? You grew up eating foods that now you have emotional ties to. And so it makes sense that you'd feel a pull towards them. Or consider that the foods we tend to call trigger foods are those that the food manufacturers actually know that you won't want to say no to, or that you will have trouble putting down. They capitalize on this. They make them with flavor combinations and macronutrient combinations, high in, fat and sugar, and usually salt, that cause you to want to keep eating. Now, I believe that just understanding this and having this new knowledge can make a massive difference in our ability to say no or not fall prey to these sorts of consequences, okay? Just that knowledge can be incredibly powerful if we're willing to take it into consideration that these things might be affecting us. So we have to learn to let go of the story instead that we're weak or we're broken or we have a problem or we're addicted in some way, and instead begin making decisions about our food choices more skillfully with this new information.